good. He's pretty good. And now I'd like to introduce Ms. Giselle Martinez to read a letter from the Vice President.
Hi, good afternoon. And Chairwoman Johnson, the Vice President, also sends her regrets that she could not be here, but wanted to share this message with you. She says, "Dear Eddie Bernice, I send you my warmest congratulations on the occasion of the official unveiling of your portrait by the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. This celebration is a fitting recognition of your lifelong dedication to public service as an advocate for human rights, the environment, and democracy throughout our nation and around the world. The courage and conviction you have displayed during your time in Congress has inspired a new generation of public servants. As the first Black woman to chair the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee, you are an example to aspiring young Black women everywhere that their dreams can be realized. This is a historic achievement, and I hope you take tremendous pride in this accomplishment. Doug and I join your family, your friends, and our country in celebrating you today. Thank you for your many years of service. Sincerely, Kamala D. Harris, Vice President."
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Now we're going to hear from the chairman of the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, Senator Maria Campbell. Welcome home, Maria.
Well, thank you, Bart, and thank you, Eddie Bernice, and thank you to all my House colleagues. It's so great to be here for this very, very important occasion and to have Eddie Bernice's family here as well. I would be remiss if I didn't say to my colleague, Representative Clyburn and Representative Lucas, since we also worked so hard together on this legislation. But we're here today to celebrate Eddie Bernice and the leadership that she's provided to our nation and to make sure that we never forget those contributions. She and I actually came into the House of Representatives together in 1992, the year of the woman. We thought it was great. We had 32 women in the House of Representatives. Today, there's 147. So we're very proud to have been part of that early effort. And we're here, too, to emphasize the importance of Eddie Bernice's contribution to STEM education and to the passage of major legislation in the CHIPS and Science Act. You know, when we were putting this legislation together, part of the challenge was how do we attract more women and people of color into science? And the thing we heard over and over again from the research was you have to get people who look like them to attract them into the field. And when I heard and remembered Eddie Bernice's story, the fact that as a nursing student, she had to travel to a non-segregated state just to receive her nursing education, and then went on to provide the care and the support and the relief working in the healthcare field and with veterans and in mental health. I thought, this is the person we need to put on a pedestal. So we thought it was very appropriate in the legislation to name a key National Science Foundation program for increasing diversity in STEM that Eddie Bernice Johnson includes. This program will continue to bear your name, to tell your story, to attract the next generation of STEM women, and to be a reminder to our colleagues of all the STEM legislation that you have helped pass, including the Bipartisan Minority Serving Institution STEM Achievement Act and the Bipartisan STEM Opportunity Act. We have to do more, but every time we get tired, we're going to come in this room and look at this portrait, and we're going to say, there was our champion. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Senator Campbell. We will now hear from Apollo astronaut and Air Force Lieutenant General Thomas Stafford.
Thank you, Congressman Jordan, Gerald Johnson, Lori Lucas, fellow members of the Congress and friends, staff members. It is indeed an honor for me to be here for the unveiling portrait of a great leader Eddie Bernice Johnson. I've had the honor of testifying in front of Ms. Johnson for many years in various roles as chief of the astronaut group and a whole series of things that occur after we have emergencies and how we fix things, advocate for other things. And later as deputy chief of staff in the Air Force, I knew her, and deputy chief for R&D. And Ms. Johnson has epitomized how the Congress should work. I've seen so much how she worked with Ralph Hall, how she works with Frank Lucas. This committee and her leadership shows how bipartisan should work for the future of this great country. And worked good and made so much progress. And I'm glad that after completing 92 orbits around the sun, I'm still able to do it. So it's just really great when I look up at some of the greats. I see some from Texas.